You have now entered the lab, episode 124. Elvis Escobar, Fort Sama. We're officially back from our little hiatus. Couple week refresher that we said we were going to do that we both needed. I know Fort needed it way more than I did, but I was able to take advantage of a couple of weeks off and, make sure I had everything in order. So once we get ready for the summer, and then because we did that, we have a lot of things to catch up on. So if you're locking in with us on YouTube, X, or the following day or all week long on audio, subscribe, send to a friend that might like us. We've been, talking more about people following us, stuff like that. We don't want to do self-promotions. We rather just happen organically. So we appreciate you guys. Obviously, episode back. Proud Vintage, special sponsor. Didn't do this for a while, so I wanted to get a couple articles of clothing. These are pretty fire. Just picked a couple articles of clothing that little Army versus Navy I thought was cool, vintage, little crew neck. I do have something for you. Wait, let me find it. Oh, little hurricanes, little windbreaker, little rain. Oh, you can't see it because the green screen.
Because the green screen. No, okay.
You can get the vibe. You get the vibe.
Yeah.
And then I found this, which is pretty dope. This is a large, but it fits big. Cleveland Browns little. I like crew necks that are like, especially when it's like broken up and like aged a little bit on the collar, so it shows that it
gives it some character.
Vintage. Yeah, hell yeah. Proud Vintage, men, women, children, clothes, posting anywhere from 5, 10, 15 items every single day, 7 days a week. Go get them. And then also quick shout out to Shrimp. He had his 30th birthday party on Saturday. His birthday was last week. I'm rocking the Epoxy, brand here. Had to show him some love. Epoxy Pros.
Matches with the hat.
He gave me a shirt. Let me see if I got the back. Little vibe, Yeah, it does match with the hat. I had to make sure I came correct. So shout out Shrimp for having us for his 30th birthday. It was a great vibe. Had it on a rooftop in Fort Lauderdale because he had like a nice little blackjack table. Bartender got the game going. It was phenomenal. So shout out Shrimp. Now, 124. I haven't talked to you in a couple of weeks. It was good to not only take a break from this podcast, but I feel like we also took a break from each other a little bit, which sometimes is necessary. But what's going on with you? Summarize kind of what you've been up to. Don't bore us with any details that we don't care about, which we care about every detail. But just talk about how your week's going. Obviously, transitioning to new job, transitioning into your new place, new situation, relationship-wise, whatever. Talk to us.
No, it was funny when I texted you last week, and I was like, yo, talk to me. You're like, what's good? I was like, we podding or what? He's like, nah, last week was your rest week. It's my bye week this week. And I was like, hell yeah, I respect it. Not hell yeah as in hell yeah, we don't got to do the pod. But like it, and also it gives us some good time to just build up some content to talk about and shit that's been happening for the past 2 weeks. But it was good. It was needed. I could say in a positive way. It gives you like a little break from it. So it's good to have, especially since we've been so consistent for like 3 years pretty much. It's like we could take a break. We deserve a break. We could do that for ourselves because it's just us really. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, for sure. And that's what I think in the first year or two, I think as we didn't have to talk about it, but we kind of understood like establishing something consistent. You're going to have to try to put out episodes every week because if you start picking and choosing what weeks and then all of a sudden you're not doing it and then you kind of fall out of love. And so we established that we'll do exactly, but also the flip of that
in life.
Exactly. And then the flip of that, I would argue, is if you do the opposite of that, you get burnt out where it's like all of a sudden we feel like we're doing episodes just to do episodes. So it was also perfect timing because you had some things going on. It was good for me. I had my family come in town. I had some things that I wanted to take care of and not have to prepare before and after. So we're finding that balance of, and there will be another time where in Myrtle Beach, I already told you, I don't think, or maybe I didn't tell you, I don't want to record in Myrtle Beach only because I do want to use that as a vacation for myself and not have to bring my stuff, not have to prepare. Usually I'm all in. Obviously, if something goes down, we'll have content. We'll do, Instagram Live, but that's another time. But that's not until July 4th weekend. So we'll be rocking and rolling for the next 6-7 weeks. But what's been going on? Talk to us.
Yeah, I mean, I picked a great fucking time to decide to want to move up at one job and start a whole new another job. Like just training for it all, and all the information that I've been consuming in the past month has been a lot. So I have felt that way kind of mentally the last maybe month. No, not month, sorry. Maybe the last week, just a little burned out, just, not at 100% of where I usually am. Like physically and emotionally, I'm doing great. But like, just it's a lot of stuff that I've been doing at work and just put into different situations that I haven't been. And I mean, obviously in my career, I've been in those situations, but it's just learning new things and trying to figure out the right ways to do them and go about it, because I am at a new job, something that I know nothing of. So I have to learn that, and I have to learn like what certain things mean. And it's been a lot, but it's nothing that I can't handle or I can't just take control of. And after another few months, I'll be a lot more comfortable with it. So I'm definitely excited for what the future holds in both of those positions. And it's just the last few days I was like, I could use the extra few hours of sleep, or maybe take like a mental day off.
For sure. Yeah, you need that, and especially like you said, it came at a perfect time where I got caught up, and I didn't know when you were starting that situation. You started a little sooner than I thought you did, so it was good timing for you to breathe a little bit. I know your situation. You spent time alone last week or a couple of weeks ago. You got time to be selfish a little bit, which is important during this time. With work and your personal life. So after after my mom and my nephew left, it was what was it? It was just getting ready for last week, going to Ohio, Panthers playing, just getting things done around the house. Some boring shit that I won't spare anybody the details. But if you live in a house, you understand that things break, things go awry. So we were dealing with some plumbing issues, and I will share this: we had sediment coming through our plumbing for the last 8 months, basically. And now I know, because when you live in a house, you got to learn things the hard way. And you just hope when you do learn it the hard way, it doesn't cost you a lot of money. This time it didn't cost us, but now I know we should have flushed all the water out and got the sediment out, because now that it basically sediment, little black rocks were coming through and clogging all of our faucets and stuff. So we had to replace them. I think I posted something about my new shower head. Awesome. Love it. You even if you move into a new apartment for it next, and they have a shitty shower head, go ahead and go to Lowe's or Home Depot and buy yourself, or Amazon. I'll send you the link. Replace it, because it's a major difference. But I had to replace all that recently. Went to Ohio, great time. I had I think last year I told you we went to Cedar Point, which is a big amusement park in Ohio. Bree and her family wanted to go again, and I'm anti amusement park in general, unless it's like new experience. I don't want to go to another place twice in 1 year. I'm not like that. Heat, waiting in lines. I don't even care if we have the fast pass. I'm still waiting in lines all day. It's like walking through hell to me. That's my version of hell, is just walking up to a roller coaster, standing in line, doing the roller coaster for 90 seconds, walking up to another one, standing in line. So I was like, you know what? Let's have a Ray day. I was like, I'll go see a movie. I haven't, Canton is right by Akron, within 20 minutes. So it's like, I'll go to the Pro Football Hall of Fame by myself, which is great. For me personally, it's a one-time experience thing. You don't have to go there more than probably twice in 5 years or 10 years. You probably go there every, decade, because they do update the stuff. They make it bigger. I think they're expanding what I seen, but amazing experience to do by myself, because I was able to take my time. I went there an hour and a half before they closed. And I was afraid it wouldn't be enough time, but it was a perfect amount of time. Got to take cool pictures, got to read up on some history. Did you know the first pro football team in America, or ever, because football, American football, FOOT ball, originated in Ohio, and the Akron Pros were the first football team ever. And that's where the history of why Canton, Ohio has a Pro Football Hall of Fame, because I think out of the first 8 teams or 6 teams they had in football, not the NFL, just pro football, right? I think 4 or 5 of them were in Ohio or something like that. So it was like Canton, Dayton, Akron, Cleveland. So there's a lot of history in Ohio that I kind of knew, but like reading it and actually looking at some plaques and some like some real photos was very cool. So it wasn't about the modern game. It was more about looking back and appreciating, damn, football's been around for a lot longer than I thought, for sure. And obviously with the Giants come in 1925, that's when they established. We'll talk about that soon enough. But to learn about the history and then kind of see the jerseys, they even had up to date. When I went on Tuesday, they already had all the draft cards from the NFL draft that happened like 10 days prior, which was pretty cool. So they had the draft cards.
That is crazy.
Like, hey, yeah. So it was cool to just see how much they're updating it. So very cool experience. Not saying anybody here would find themselves randomly in Ohio, but if you are in Ohio, stop by. It was a cool experience. But other than that, I'm glad to be back with you, putting out content, having fun, and messing around a little bit.
Hell yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I had a fun weekend. My girl, her friends came down and we went out to Savannah for Saturday night. And then Friday, shit, what we do Friday? Oh, no, Saturday and during the day we went to the farmer's market. I've seen a lot of people went to the farmer's market on Saturday all over, like on Instagram. And I saw Ben was at the farmer's market. Someone else was at the farmer's market in their state.
Yeah.
So, yeah, farmer's market is a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun there. And yeah, we went out downtown, bar hopped a little bit.
That's one thing you'll figure out. You think you experience Savannah, but experiencing it in a relationship is different because you're going to start doing things that you never.
Yeah, you didn't. Do before.
Obviously, you're single. You're going to go more nightlife stuff. But then when you are in a relationship, we're going to do more daytime stuff. You know what I mean? And really experience. So I think this is the first time you're really going to even live in there. What, 3 years are you up on?
Yeah.
Are you
yeah.
3
My
years?
third year. Yeah.
That's crazy. And you're really going to start to experience it, not from Savannah that I know. I'm just saying from a city, you get to do things that you normally A, wouldn't do by yourself, and probably B, let's be frank, probably do on a date, because it's like, all right, I'm trying to figure out what this person is. Is this person crazy or not? I'm not trying to go out, but it's good that you're able to experience that stuff.
Yeah, no, they definitely got to experience Savannah. There was a huge shooting Saturday night near downtown. 11 people got shot.
Sheesh.
I heard two got killed. So yeah, it was a full Savannah experience. And then the next day there was shots by the gas station that I used to work at next to the Costco.
For real? Oh
yeah.
man.
Yeah, fucking some shit popping off this. Oh yes, be safe. Stay locked in.
We get those updates living in Pompano Beach, the area that we live in is a good area. So within the mile, there's not too many bad things happening, or half a mile. But hey, you go a little west, if you go a little towards the I-95 and the railroad there. So we get a bunch of updates on our neighborhood app, or Bree does, that there's like gun firings or gunshots at least once a week or every couple of weeks. So everybody be safe out there, please.
Yeah, be safe out there. A lot of holidays coming up in the next few months, so people are going to be
that's when things
acting some tomfoolery. So.
And it's funny because obviously you live in a place where people go to vacation and go to
those holidays.
Memorial Day and 4th of July. So you're in the same situation that you left down here in South Florida. You're right back at it too. So you're going to see some wild stuff. Everybody be safe out there. Obviously, like you said, next Monday is Memorial Day. We'll figure out if we're recording or how we're recording. We'll talk about that when as the week goes on. Stay tuned to our Instagram, Twitter, all that. We are looking for not only new guests to hop on. So if you're listening to this, definitely hit us up if you want to hop on. It don't matter if you're a regular person, but you got something to either talk about, subject matter, or business to promote. We're always open. We always, for the 3 going on 4 years of doing a podcast, we've always been supporting our family and friends and businesses first. So we always love to spread love and have people hop on, whether it's for 10 minutes or 30 minutes. Don't feel like you're ever obligated to, you've never been on a podcast before. You wouldn't know what to talk about. Every guest that we've had that's never been on a podcast or has been as a professional, which we've also had, we'll always find a way to kill time and have a good vibe. So definitely hit us up. And then we'll be also hitting up people that to come on because we want every week to be something different. We over the last 2 weeks, I said to myself, and now I'm telling you, because we haven't talked that much, I want, every week to feel something new, whether it's new subject matter, whether it's new topics or something, some different vibe, change it up a little bit. Because as everything, we get a little complacent and kind of routinish. So I want things to be free flowing and a little refreshing.
Yeah, no, I definitely want to get some guests on. Like Ray said, you don't have to be nobody. You don't have to have a certain amount of followers on Instagram or X or anything like that. If you got something you want to talk about, if you got a business you want to promote, like he said as well, if it's something that you're super passionate about, hop on, promote yourself, talk your shit. We always say this. But yeah, like don't be worried about if you've never been on a pod or anything. Ray and I have both had people on here that have never been on a pod before, don't have their own pod or anything like that, but that don't mean anything. We get the conversation going, we'll hold it down, and yeah, come on in. I got some few things that I also want to set up with, Bullring. Shout out Bullring. They've been steady doing their thing. They're always posting.
Yeah.
They're dropping content. They're outside downtown Savannah with their mics and ring lights, just having an episode out there, which is really fucking dope. So mad respect to them. I'm going to try and get something going on with them, maybe hop on their podcast, talk some shit, and promote our brand here, and hopefully vice versa. But yeah, don't hit us up, DM us personally or on the pod page, whatever is easier for you. Yeah, shout out 100%. Ash.
Shout out Ashley. If you're a wrestling fan, I tune in, lock in every week to our podcast. I love it. I always told her I love her take on wrestling, and then I also it might sound weird, but I've told her before, I've told other people, I just like the sound of her voice. It's very like, because when you listen to somebody on a podcast, maybe my voice isn't, it's a little bit more raspy and yours is a little bit more, low key and somber as you.
I got a good voice, boy.
No, yeah, better voice than me as far as audio wise.
That's radio.
I agree with that. But I enjoy listening to Ashley every single week because I enjoy her voice. Sonically, her voice is very good for podcasting. So if you want to go listen to her, go ahead. Her podcast is Kick Ash Podcast on obviously on YouTube and anywhere you could get her streamings. Yeah, let's get into some news and entertainment before, obviously, sports wise. We have NBA. We have UFC, we have boxing, and then we have NHL wrapping up the second round here, Game 7, Oilers at 9. But a lot of foolery going on, a lot of fun things happening in the world. I'll let you pick out your topic that you want to discuss, or if you're listening live on X or YouTube, just go ahead and comment.
I want to lead off with someone that's already been in the news in the past few months, stuff that we knew he was doing, but it was just swept under the rug for whatever reason for the longest amount of time. But now we actually have video evidence, and it sucks that they were saying it's been too long, so you can't do anything about it. Sean, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Combs. Man, that video, bro, that leaked, it's kind of bad. Dude,
right?
I don't think there's anything in this world, maybe like something super extreme, but it has to be super, super extreme to make me run it out of my hotel room with my towel wrapped around my waist, butt ass naked. Like, it has to be something so crazy. Knowing there's cameras everywhere in the hotel.
Knowing there's cameras,
bro. Everywhere. They got they got cameras on every single corner of hotels, bro. One on each end of the damn hallway, one by the elevators, in the elevator. They got all that. So he must have been so outraged, like insane, out of his mind, pissed off, that just disregarded everything. Just running, holding the towel, and he just pulls her down, starts kicking. Bro, that's crazy. Like, you don't kick someone when they're down. Like, that's like,
figuratively and literally,
right? You just don't do that. And then he just starts dragging her across the. Come on, bro, that's wild. And I mean,
If you didn't see the clip, you could go on Twitter and easily see
yeah,
it.
I don't even
TMZ's
want to put
got
it
it.
on. I don't
Yeah,
want to
it's
like give
it's
that
good
kind of
that
shit
let's
like
not promote that. That's
yeah,
fine.
exactly.
But yeah,
But he
go ahead.
supposedly paid him $50K to delete the
Yep.
video or something like that, bro. That I would have been like, nah, bro, $50K, that's it. You fucking P Diddy, bro. You think I don't know who you are? That's $50 to you.
Things don't get deleted. Things don't
Things don't get
go.
deleted.
Yeah.
Bro, someone at that hotel was like, damn, this is
Let me
gonna
make a
set
copy
me
real
up for
quick.
life. Yeah. And it was 2016, I think, right?
Yeah, it was a few
So
years back. I don't
technology
know
was
what year,
already
but
super advanced at that point. So it's
yeah.
like, real quick, you take a Snapchat. Got you in 4K,
Yeah.
Diddy.
100%.
Yeah, that's true. Ashley, yeah, that's what we saw. Imagine what we haven't. Yeah, I mean, so yeah, all that stuff that we don't know that goes on behind closed doors in the media and that industry and a lot of industries actually is sad. And I mean, shit, Kanye was right. Cat Williams was right.
Yeah.
Everyone's been getting exposed this year. I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Yeah, and we've talked about it numerous times. I've said it is we glorify all these people that are making money, successful, and we put them on a pedestal. We almost, that's what social media is good for, is, you know, it does expose people for who they are, whether it's them tweeting things out or them exposing themselves, or it's, you know, evidence that shows clearly. And you know, somebody like Diddy, he's had very, you know, this is wrong, and this is obviously something that does get you in prison, but the things he's accused of, that it's still ongoing. It only makes you think. It doesn't mean he's guilty of the things that he's been accused
I'm
of,
guilty.
but it definitely, yeah, that's what I mean. It definitely doesn't. It definitely doesn't absolve him of those sins. It even makes it like, all right, if he's able to do, like you said, some high profile, he's doing that at the. You know what's funny is, like, if you think that any video or cameras are in a hotel, they're 100% more towards the elevators than anything else. So it's like you got to be so, and usually somebody that does that act is so blanked with rage where they have no concept of what they're doing, and they're just full on in that moment. So he definitely made those decisions, and not only did he go after her once, went after her again. So he had a moment of, he could have some clarity of like, all right, let me stop what I'm doing, and still did it again. So his allegations, we talked on this podcast before. You could go back and get our takes, or you could go anywhere. But it definitely makes him seem a lot more now. If he's able to do that, I don't doubt that he's able to do some other more serious, high profile stuff behind the scenes. So it doesn't do well for him. And he knows he's got, I think that, you know, Twitter was at it again, where he's probably in a place that they don't have extradition. He's in Costa Rica.
No, he's at his house in Miami. Like, yes, Jules was tweeting. She's like, anyone in the industry knows where he's at. Blah blah blah. Did you just set yourself up for the crazy jokes? Like, everyone's like, oh, we bet you know the house. Like, we know you've been to them Diddy parties. Tell us more. But yeah, no, I mean, and the thing that sucks is everyone's like, yeah, he's gonna go to jail. He's gonna go to prison. Blah blah blah. This and that. But he's got so much money. Like, he's got endless amounts of money that he's going to get the best legal support. We know this, right? And like, he is guilty, but it's going to be so many appeals and so many like extra stuff that this shit's just going to drag on.
Well, you're talking you're not talking this one, because it allegedly,
I'm just talking about everything that's going on in
because they said
life.
That it's too late.
Yeah, it's too late. It's too late.
Him on this stuff.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I highly doubt Diddy sees day behind bars. And that sucks, because there's so many people like him that are doing this shit.
It's having money helps 100% in this situation. It's like you're only get out of jail free, but you're not free truly, because somebody like Diddy is, a lot of people nowadays, whatever money he has or has saved, that's probably the only way he's going to be doing business, because no big corporations are going to want to touch him. No other artists
No Diddy.
people that want to be big in any industry is want to be linked to him. So, in the public opinion or court, he's done, and then we'll see. So obviously, if he did these allegations, any of them, hopefully he gets what's coming towards him, and I think he will. So there'll be plenty of updates on that for a long while, and we'll see where he goes up, because Diddy's always seemed like an extremist to me. Everybody always like, oh, I love Diddy's grind, his hustle, his work, but like behind that is usually a psychopath, a sociopath, a narcissistic person. It's all the bad attributes that nobody wants to say when they're not guilty of something. But when you peel back the onions, you start to realize, like, man, everything he's doing, if he has any handle in any negative or bad, he's doing it to the extreme as well. And we'll see how that works out. In the music industry, and we'll go bar for bar. I like to call this Jada and a little, back and forth type thing. Drake and Kendrick is still going back and forth. I am late to the party, even though, because I wanted to almost see how it panned out. And we talked about it a little bit. You talked about it more than me, because I didn't listen to the music yet. A few weeks before we took a break, I was almost waiting for it to, like, is it serious, or is it just like a couple songs and then we're going to go on our way? Obviously, the music is one thing. There's a shootout. Drake's bodyguard or something gets shot in Toronto. It's been going on for more than 2 months. So now I started, and when we took our break, to be like, you know what? Let me listen to the music, because I don't listen to hip hop as much as I used to, that's for sure. A lot of podcasts are in my ears, but I've listened to music. I've listened to Drake's songs. I listen to Kendrick, and I've always said Kendrick is my favorite rapper in the modern day, and then everybody else is second, third, but man, that They Not Like Us, that song, whoa. And it's funny, I only listened to it from start to finish, literally like last week, like 10 days ago. That is bar for bar, and it's 3 verses. It's a full song. It's 6 minutes. It's quality rap. And he buries Drake, and Drake has yet to come back with anything that's really listenable as much as that. Would you agree? Or
yeah, no, I definitely think Kendrick is up, and it hurts me to say that, because I'm a huge Drake fan. But no, they Not Like Us. He really went in and snapped. And there was a video I saw. I was trying to find it. I'm gonna see if I could look it up. But this dude had it. He was like doing it in person.
Yeah, I
like
love
dancing.
that.
You saw that?
Play that. Yeah, play that, because that obviously that's social media. So then, do you know I listened to that in full twice? First time, I listened to it in full twice, and then I've listened to it 3 or 4 times just randomly as it comes across. He raps the way he raps, what he's doing. When he's rapping and doing his like motions, you could see how people are just kind of scared, like
crazy. Yeah.
Which, hey, nowadays you got to make sure, hey, don't stand too close to somebody. They don't know what he's capable of. And there's one time where he throws his I think Beats or Apple headphones on the floor, like slams them. It's fire. He did a great job. Definitely play that. He deserves his flowers with that reenactment.
Trying to find it, but no, yeah, he that shit was funny. I saw it on. Oh, here's a short. I guess I could play this.
Yeah, the short's probably easier because it probably is a quicker version of it. Let's see.
Homeboy needs to be put it in movie clocks. The name gotta be registered and placed on neighborhood watch. I lean on you niggas like another line of walk. Yeah, it's all eyes on me.
And I'm like a pop.
No label on me, I'ma get them dropped. Hey, switch in music and I won't
Get a hit. It's a rock.
Stocks do I really have it stock? Hey, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 5. Hey, devil is a lie. He a 69 God. Hey, freaky ass niggas need to stay their ass inside. Hey, throw their ass up like a fresh pack of Zot. Hey, city is back up. It's a must. We outside. Hey.
Bro,
Dude,
Like us. They
Hey.
not like us. They not like us.
Yeah.
I love this
From Atlanta
dude.
down to Central.
he really
Big
did sing
fan.
on that shit, bro.
He
Hell
really
yeah, big
did.
fan.
That was so funny, dude. Man, I love people that can be
Cheers to
creative in
that.
that. Cheers, brother. Yes. Cheers to that. Kendrick is up. We'll just call it overall 1-0, 2-0, maybe 2-1.
Yeah, it
in the
doesn't
series.
matter
We'll
really
see how
what
it
it- yeah.
pans out. But it's funny because they've been saying like now people are going back in music, and Kendrick for years has been talking when he's saying certain bars in his raps. You know, usually with a rapper, unless they don't have a direct beef, it's just general, right? Like either towards new rappers or whatever what it is. Now that people are going back and like, wait, that bar, that song, this reference was meant for somebody like Drake. And usually as a rapper, you need to find almost a target, an enemy, because it'll make you rap better. It'll make you like, you don't have to come out and say the name Drake in a reference, but you know, it keeps things interesting. And then when you look back at it, you're like, wow, he's been probably referencing this for years. And now he just comes out and just says it. And the things he's saying is, you know, calling him a predator, calling him, you know, all these things. I don't even want to say some of these things, telling Drake's son, like, you need to find a new father and stuff. Like, it's just crazy the things he's saying. And yeah, so and then I listened.
What do you think his son is gonna think when he's like older and he's like, damn, maybe I should like listen? Because there's no way there's no way he's listening to that right now. And he might be, probably he'll hear it some way, somehow, but he doesn't know what's going on. There's no way.
It's wild, bro. And man, this is how rap and hip hop goes. It's better when you got a quality beef. And there's been beefs, but it hasn't been at this level. There's been beefs with like new artists and, you know, and trying to get a name and just going, and it gets talked over Twitter for a day or two, maybe a week. But this is something serious. These are the kings of hip hop at this current time.
Right.
And there's not many lyricists in hip hop right now. I'm not talking like the old hip hop guys that could show up like Fabulous and, you know, he could always come up. But I'm saying like the guys in the last 10 years that are lyrical rappers like Drake, like J. Cole, like Kendrick. And if they got something spicy going on, we all got to pay attention because it's not just going to go away. And obviously we hope nobody gets hurt. We hope that nobody, and I don't think it's going to get to that. I don't think it's Biggie, Tupac, or 50 Cent. 50 Cent knows all about that. That was wild back in the day too. There hasn't been too much that, you know, Jay-Z, Nas and stuff like that, but hopefully it's all for fun. It's all for selling records, and we all win when rappers are beefing, especially at this high level. So I hope they keep it coming. It only makes the next Kendrick when he comes out of hiding, because he releases an album every 3 to 5 years, and you don't see him ever. There's no pictures of Kendrick Lamar. I don't understand how there's no pictures of Kendrick Lamar or videos of him in between albums. Like, it's just like very minimal, and I respect that. I love it.
Unless he drops them himself.
Yeah, unless he like kind of like wanted to be seen. It's insane. So we're gonna see how this evolves. We won't spend more time on it, but we had to bring it up because since we last recorded, I've gotten educated on it more than we had in episode 123, and I hope it keeps going and it creates quality albums. And it will. It'll make Drake go harder. Pause. It'll make him maybe his next album he does a couple less R&B songs and a couple more, bar for bar raps and shit. That'll be awesome. So let's see, Kendrick. Now that we bring it up, obviously we can for Dre. He's tuned into the lab. Appreciate you. What's your take on, as we going on non-sports and we're going into, we kind of skew this episode to our listeners and watchers. USYK. I didn't know much about him. I've kind of heard of the name. I kind of watched a little bit of highlights before, and then obviously Tyson Fury, big in, it was a matchup of titles, undisputed on the line. Tyson Fury, the last couple matches or 2 out of the 3 last fights he had were either controversial or that he could lose, and they were closer than they had been in the past. So did you watch it live or did you watch highlights of it? And what did you, even if you didn't watch it live, what was your take on watching him getting mollywopped all around the ring?
Well, I lost $5. I put $5 on Fury,
Hey.
so that pissed me off. But I mean, no, I didn't get a chance to watch it. I was working. But he, like you said, did get mollywopped, and USYK is that dude. He's that dude.
Yeah, man.
My brother texted me that. He was like, USYK is that dude, and he's like, Loma is that dude. So, I mean, I can't really speak on it too much. I wish Drake could hop on and talk to us about it, but like you did say, Fury has looked a little vulnerable. He got knocked down by Ngannou. No, I'm fucking sweating, bro. You fucking try me with that shit right now. But look, side note. I be taking 3 milligrams in, and that's cool for me. I just took a 6. I'm a bitch, bro. I don't care what anyone say to me or what anyone on social media say about taking 3 milligrams in. I'm gonna keep taking them 3 milligrams in because this 6 milligrams in, I took that shit out. I don't feel right. So I'm a bitch. I'm gonna stick with my 3 milligrams. Thank you very much. No, I missed the fight, but yeah, Fury don't look that good. I don't know what's next for him. I don't know what's next for USYK because I don't know about the sport. So social media was going in about it.
Yeah, man. It was I watched it in full. Ben came over. We were going Shrimp's party started at 7. That fight started at like 6:15. We're like, all right, we're gonna have to be a little late to this party because there's no way we're gonna leave halfway through because we knew somebody was getting either knocked down, or whatever. I'm glad we stayed for it because USYK gained momentum. He looked fresh, spry, and I know he from the highlights I seen prior when we got home, we kind of watched a lot of highlights after, just for me to understand everything. Is he came up in weight over the last few years. Just because I seen fights of him looking like a middleweight, and then all of a sudden he's big, but he's also, fast. The way he was moving early in the fight, it was like, ooh, if he could remain like this and stay like this the whole fight, Fury's gonna have some complications with him. And then in that 9th round, I was screaming for Fury to like take a knee at one point because when he was getting those hits and then he was trying to dance around the ring, and then the only thing holding him up was the ropes. He should have went down, took a knee, shit. At that time, you're just trying to survive. Take a knee, get that 10-second runoff, get another 5 seconds to recoup. That's 15 seconds, end of the round, and then you're able to fight the rest. Because we've seen Tyson Fury take blows, and then he still lasted the whole fight after that, and he looked decent after, round 10 till 12. Yeah, he took a big beating in that 9th round that he couldn't recover from. And I thought it was a lot closer. Obviously, when you leave it to the judges, you do take those chances of leaving it in human beings to make it closer. I think it was a split decision. And one of the, is one, whatever it was, 114, 113, another 115, 113. And it was just, you don't ever want to leave it in boxing to a split decision. You don't know what's happening because everybody sees a fight differently. And that's what, Fury, he lasted the whole fight, which gives him a chance. And then, so big fan. Shout out Ukraine in this regard. Shout out, that's where he's from. He came out in the whole head to toe looking like a general, a war general, which was awesome. Once I seen that, I was like, ooh, this guy means business. And Saudi Arabia, whenever they put on the show, is a spectacle. They try to treat every main event they have there in Saudi as like a WrestleMania. They have the music, performances, music, entrances. So it's a good time. And I like that it's early too, because I'm able to watch a fight at 6 p.m. on a Saturday versus 12 a.m. on a Saturday. I'll take 6 p.m. on a Saturday, get my day going, and then I'm able to watch whatever else is going on. So Saudi Arabia is going to be able to put on more performances because of the timing. Just makes sense in America. But now that sets up Anthony Joshua, right? And Trey, if you're still listening or watching, you could put your input. That sets up Anthony Joshua and USYK, I think, right, for another fight or eight, right? Because I think USYK got the best of Joshua last time, from what I've seen. I could be wrong. So we got some momentum in the heavyweight. We'll see. Any last thoughts on that?
No, I really don't. Because, like I said, I don't got much to say about boxing. Right. I don't know that much.
All right, cool. We'll keep it moving.
Besides, Tyson and Jake Paul coming soon.
Yeah, and that's in July, right?
Yeah, end of July.
They're promoting that heavy to the point where people thought people thought that didn't know. They thought that was happening like this weekend or next weekend.
Live on Netflix.
Live on Netflix, July. We'll be covering that. That'll be. It's happening. It's not a pay-per-view, but it's on Netflix, so it's kind of like not a normal situation where it's better for the viewing fan that it's on Netflix because most people have Netflix already, so it's easier to watch. So I'm glad they do that. But they're doing it at the AT&T Stadium, and in order to sell that out, they got to do a lot of promotions and stuff. So they're saying some weird stuff in the presser, by the way. A lot of stuff.
Did you see this?
Kiss me? He said he wanted to kiss you. That's so ironic that he said that because I saw a picture of him dancing at 16 doing that little dance on YouTube, and for some reason I had an erection.
Bro.
Even it's funny.
Crazy.
I thought I heard that out of context, and then I watch it numerous times, and I'm like, no, that's in context. I was like, he didn't say anything before that. It wasn't like a joke. Mike Tyson, still the GOAT. He'll always say some wild stuff. He's amazing. He doesn't even try to like intentionally promote a fight. He just who he is, and he by default he just promotes a fight. So that'll be interesting to see. And from what I've seen, obviously, Jake Paul has gained weight to.
It's on steroids.
Obviously, yeah. He's had to gain weight. You can't fight Mike Tyson as a middleweight type of weight. So you got to gain a little weight, which will be very different from all the other fights he fought. Whether this is a gimmick or not, hey, I'm still gonna watch it and treat it as if it's both people want to make money, but they also want to win. So I don't think the later the fight goes, I think the quality will go down. That's for sure. I don't think Mike Tyson could, round 6. I think, is it an 8 or a 10-round fight? Do you know that?
I think it's 10.
It should be 10 the 10, most. 3, I'll try to look it
10
up.
3-minute rounds.
Because if it's... Yeah, I'll look it up. Tyson.
Yeah. While you're looking that up, the crazy run that we have seen the last week and a half, 2 weeks for the WNBA.
8 rounds.
8 rounds.
That's what I wanted. 8 rounds. That's perfect because if it gets a 6, it'll be not quality. So at least the next 2 rounds it'll end. 10 is a lot. 10 is a lot for sure.
Yeah. So the historic run we have seen in the last week and a half, 2 weeks for the WNBA might be coming to a pause.
Okay.
Do you know why?
Did Caitlin Clark just fracture her ankle? No, she went back into the game. I thought
she went back.
I was watching it live. I've not sadly, but all 4 games I've watched.
All 4 games.
I think she was ready to come back. I don't know if she played more after.
The whistle blows. Clark big towards the Indiana bench.
Let's see. I'll give you an update.
Ooh, that don't look that bad.
Oh, just a miss.
No, she had they said she had a bad ankle
Clark slams
before the game.
Chair and is going
Should be
right
all right.
to the
Let's see if
room.
she's played since. Because I watched. It looks like she's played since. So she went down and then she's played since. The Fever 0-3. They're a bad team. Obviously, you don't go
They are a
from
bad
being
team.
the number one pick to all of a sudden being the best. So they're gonna have some. They're gonna be good in a couple of years or a year or two once she gets adjusted. But
Right.
yeah, the WNBA better hope that she plays because she's selling out not only her arena, they have to move arenas
Right.
to fit the amount of fans, and also other teams are moving arenas if they can to fit the amount of demand that is behind that. So the whole WNBA is hoping that she plays every single game of this season. Right
The
now,
rest of her life.
it's the fourth quarter. She's playing, according to ESPN, she's played 22 minutes, and that happened in I think second quarter. So she's playing right now. She has 13 points. They're up 2. But I've at least tuned into all 4 games in some
You're doing your
capacity.
part, brother.
I'm doing my part, brother.
You're
Supporting
doing
women.
your part.
I'm supporting women a lot more than women do women. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Because
Let's touch your
numbers are up, but I think a lot of those numbers are men just curious to see if she's going to drop 50 points in the game. I'm a New York Liberty fan. They're 3-0. They're about to go 4-0. They made it to the championship last year against
Sabrina was giving her
Aces.
buckets.
Oh, I love Sabrina. I love Sabrina Ionescu. That's my girl. Yeah. There we go. Following. Oh, one other point before we get into NBA or hockey. Well, NBA and NFL, because there's some things. A sport that you don't follow at all. A sport that I follow somewhat, play somewhat. I haven't played in a while. Scottie Scheffler. I woke up on Friday morning at 9:30. Looked at my phone to see that Scottie Scheffler got arrested at 6 a.m. in the morning or 7 a.m. in the morning. And the first thought I'm thinking is, all right, so if he got arrested at that time, he wasn't out partying. Doesn't seem like somebody, so that you cross that out list. He probably wasn't doing anything really illegal. So I'm like, what in the world happened? And it turns out, as we know now, there was a accident that was a fatal accident right before you turn into the golf course. And it was raining. It was dark because it was early. His tee time originally was 9, let's call it 9:15. Got pushed back to 10:15. And this man got arrested because they told him to stop. Confusion happened. And, he thought they said go. Cop hopped on his car. It all turns out that it was a bad communication situation, and he tried driving because he's a pro golfer to his destination, probably thinking he's not doing anything wrong. Probably the only thing I could assume that he did wrong, judging the situation, was a little privilege. Like, all right, I'm a pro golfer. I got to get to my tee time. I'm going to drive how I want. And then they wind up arresting him, which is crazy. He gets out, posted bond, whatever he does. He tees off literally 2 hours, 3 hours after he gets arrested. Post bond, goes to the golf course and shoots 5 under. And he goes from 9th place to, I think, 2nd or 3rd place that day. He doesn't wind up winning. Xander Schauffele wins the PGA major, his first major, but it was just a shit show of miscommunication, bad look on everybody's part. Obviously, it helps that he's a pro golfer. He's white. He has money, so he's able to do this. But the fact that he was able to get arrested, not do your normal routine in a pro golfer or any pro sport, not do your routine, and then able to go to the course. I think he got there at 9:30, 9:15, teed off 45 minutes and shot 5 under at a major and was able to move up the rank from 9th place to top 5. Unbelievable. Yes, he didn't finish. He might have finished in the top 5. I got to look that up. But the fact that he was able to shoot very low in that round was unbelievable. The Twitter machines, the memes, the videos, the references were unbelievable the entire day on Friday, providing content. And I always say it's amazing how people, if they were able to put that type of creativity and effort into their probably Monday through Friday job or whatever they have going on into Twitter, and some people have a full-time creating these memes, on point, the best content ever. What did you take from it as an outsider that doesn't know who these players are? What did you see and what did you hear from that? I'm interested in your take.
I really didn't pay too much attention to it
Okay.
because, like you said, I don't follow that stuff. I got the notification on my phone about it, and then I saw some stuff on X, but I didn't really like follow through or look it up or for that sort.
But did I tell it right? As far as somebody that doesn't know, I try to like dumb
what
it
I
down
would
a
know,
little bit.
yeah, no,
Like
you,
number one
you did a great
golfer
job for that.
number one golfer goes to jail right before his tee time, and then gets out and then shoots the best on the day. Like that's insane.
And the
I don't
thing
care
with
what
that
sport it
is
is.
golf, right? Golf is such a mental sport.
Mhm.
Like you don't have to play it or you don't have to follow. Like if you know sports,
You
like
just
you know,
know.
golf is a mental sport. There's a lot that goes on in your head with that. So with him knowing what he's got going on and what he's gonna have to like go through in the following months or whatnot, and then still shoot a 5 under, that man got some strong ass brain power.
Yeah. Because you
He's
don't know. At the end
mentally
of the
tough.
day, the charges that were held against him, there was like a couple misdemeanors and then there was like a felony. So yeah, you might think in your head, or the average person be like, oh, he'll get out of it. But when you're in it and you do a crime and you get arrested, arraigned, post bond, and then you have to go throughout life, you still don't know what's going to happen. You literally, like the most, like we think, all right, he'll get out of it. But if you're involved in it, you're like, holy shit, that just happened. I can go to jail. I can do community service. My life might change. Sponsors might drop me. Like these are all things that have to go through your brain as you're sitting in a cell. Whether obviously the charges against him are very minor in general, but there's a chance in your head that you might be like, big deal with Nike. I'm the number one golfer. A lot going on where things may twist. Social media might turn their back and be like, oh, he's a shitty person. You have no idea sitting in that cell, not checking your phone. And then you come out and you get the support and you get the, we're with you. And obviously, things will probably turn in his favor. But at the moment, he has no idea what's going to hit him once he gets out and he goes and shoots that. Awesome. He got street cred now. You know what I mean? And the game of golf, the only other guy to get street cred is Tiger Woods or Dustin Johnson, DJ, who got busted cocaine a couple times. He's a partier. Get it? Hey, we all been there. But there's not too much golfers with street cred like that. So hey, he's got a little street cred with the fans, and he was able to shoot well. He didn't win or place in the top 5 or 6 or something, but he did place very. He represented the game of golf after going through what he did, and yeah, so that was a wild day in sports for 24 hours to see somebody go through that, where it was like nobody got hurt. Obviously, give love to whoever passed away, whoever died, because I think somebody died literally in that lead up to why he was being stopped. But nothing got, nothing came about it more because he got arrested. So, NBA playoffs. Both of our teams aren't in it. We now know the final 4 in NBA. We got in the East, we have the Boston Celtics, who's been waiting for their opponent, and we could all probably agree that the Boston Celtics will go on to the finals. But we had the Knicks, the Pacers, battle it out in Game 7. What was your take? Obviously, like I said, you didn't watch it. Maybe I didn't watch any other Game 5 or Game 6 as much, but I did watch all of Game 7. What was your take on that series? I hate the Knicks, so I'm always rooting against it. I love that the Pacers were able to handle business in the Garden with all the fans, all the celebrities, all the past players. I love. Like, and I get it. My Nets are involved, so you can talk shit about my Nets. But guess what? My second victory of the season, my second playoff victory, is watching the Knicks go down the way they did. So what would your take on the Pacers Knicks series game 7?
I mean, I don't know if it was just me, but I have not been interested in the Eastern Conference side of the playoffs this season. I don't know what it is. Well, I know exactly what it is. The Heat aren't playing. They got knocked out. But I do hate the Knicks too, and I don't like a lot of their fans just because of, we all know why. Someone tweeted, oh, it was RG3. RG3 tweeted saying Knicks fans don't deserve this. Yes, the fuck they do. They deserve that and a lot worse in sports terms. But yeah, it's especially against the Pacers. I know the Knicks were hurt. They had a lot of players out. Julius Randle was out. OG was out. Brunson broke his hand. Mitchell Robinson was out. So they had a lot of injuries. If they were
guess
healthy,
what? They were still favored before all that and
Right.
after that to win the series.
Yeah.
So the media, and I'll cut you off real quick because I hate that take, is when it was all said and done, all the media did was talk about how the Knicks were hurt. The Knicks had injuries. Indiana won because the Knicks weren't whatever. But after game 2, when they were up 2-0 with the injury to OG, still the favorite. After game 5, after game 6, still the favorite. It was like, and then Brunson hurt his hand when they were down 20-25 the whole game. So I don't want to hear that shit of like, oh, they had injuries. Yeah, they have injuries. Everybody has injuries. We've seen it all the time. Teams still win with injury. Excuse me. I hate how the media twisted that to like devalue the Indiana Pacers from playing, because let's take it back during the season. Indiana Pacers, and this is a take that I have yet to hear, and I don't watch ESPN. I only do Pat McAfee. Indiana Pacers were in the finals of the in-season tournament. And this is what we talk about. Enter the Lab is talking details, right? We're talking not what you want to hear on ESPN, all the cool reference points and all the hot takes, right? Indiana Pacers, with a young up-and-coming team trying to be the Celtics, the Bucks, all these top teams, they played in an in-season tournament and got playoff experience prior to the playoffs. They got experience of playing intense games. I'm not saying it's as intense as Game 7 in the Garden. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it helps a young team come up and create that. All right, we could do this. We could beat these teams, and they did beat good quality teams in that tournament. And then they beat good quality teams. I don't care if they didn't play. Giannis didn't play. I don't care. They're still playing the Milwaukee Bucks that have depth. So the fact that the Indiana Pacers, that are great on offense, I looked it up. They're number 1 in offense in the East, but they were bottom in the East in defense. The fact that they were able to beat the Knicks in Game 7, you know how hard that is? I don't care who you have out there on the floor. I don't care who you do have out. The fact that they were able to do that was a big deal. And I didn't hear enough of that being talked about today or yesterday as a major thing. And that's sad, because we're done in the society or in media of like truly analyzing the game instead of making excuses. So the way I saw it was Indiana Pacers, they're building. Tyrese Halliburton is a problem. He's a pure point guard. He's somebody like not like a Jason Kidd, because he could shoot the 3 in his prime way better than Jason Kidd did. He developed that 3-pointer as his career went on, Kidd did. But like as far as rebounds, assists, and all those other intangibles, he doesn't have to score 20 points for his team to win by 20. It just sucked to see people talk more about the Knicks, how they had injuries versus how the Indiana Pacers were down 2-0. We're down 3-2. We're down and had to win 2 straight to make it a series and win the series. So that was my take on the whole series. Is we should be talking about the Indiana Pacers, that they played in the in-season tournament, made it to that, whether you could call that fugazi or not. They still won something that meant something. The players on that team made more money because they played in that tournament. So they were motivated. Everybody else should have been motivated too. And then now they're in the Eastern Conference Finals where injuries could happen to the Celtics. Porzingis is out. God forbid, knock on wood, I'm just saying. What if Brown or Tatum go down? Now you're talking Indiana Pacers. If they continue to play at a high level, they could be in the finals. Nobody's talking that way towards the Pacers. And I'm somebody that when I started watching basketball and I'm rooting for the Nets, that's exactly how people were talking about the Nets. Because at that time, it was the Pacers, the Pistons, it was all these other teams. And then the Nets made it to back-to-back finals. Yeah, they didn't win. They got mollywopped by the Lakers and the Spurs, basically dynasties. But they still made it, and they pushed, and then they became who they became down the line. But, yeah, that's just my take on the series. And I think that's a great take. Proud of myself in articulating it that way.
Yeah, no, I respect that take. I respect that take. That's a solid take. That's a good take. I feel like, yeah, teams, especially when you play against a team that's in a market like New York, it's going to be hard to get some kind of recognition based on what you do.
That's not going to get. That's not going to get the clicks. The clicks aren't going to get.
No, it's not.
We're talking about the Pacers. The clicks are going to talk about how the Knicks didn't win versus how the Pacers won, and that's sad. That sucks. Like, what are we doing? That's why ESPN is going down. Like, that's why they're not a entity that real sport fans go to get knowledge about what happened. That's why they go to podcasts. Podcasts not like this. We're low level. I'll never say that. But they do go to other podcasts that are unafraid to not have that talk about like the headlines.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it'll be a closer series than people think between them and Boston.
Yep.
Just because of how gritty they are.
They have size, bro. They have size with Miles Turner. He's a guy that can play inside, get rebounds, and shoot the three. Siakam, play inside, get threes. All those guys could everybody in their lineup, 1 through 8. Because when you get deep in the playoffs, you usually only play 8 to 9 guys consistently. Basically, everybody could shoot threes, and that's key. That's huge. Stretch the floor. Yeah, their defense needs work, but in the playoffs, most of the time you have got a good head coach like Carlisle. You could channel defense more than you could channel offense, right? Like you could make everybody play a little harder on defense. Sometimes if you're not an offensive team, you just can't make the ball go through the hoop.
Game's about a motherfucking bucket.
That's what I mean. So, and we've seen it with Miami Heat. Obviously, they have that culture where we've seen them all of a sudden. They don't have the most offensive experience. Bro, in the last 3 years, Miami Heat are not an offensive juggernaut at all. But guess what? They'll lock down defense, and then they'll get some guys to play up towards their highest ability. And that's what it does. In a young team and guys that want contracts, you're going to play a little harder on defense. And then sometimes the ball goes to the hoop. So I love that we're able to have this podcast because I've been hating the content I've been seeing and watching and listening to.
It's terrible.
About like whatever they want to disclaim or talk about. And I'm like, you guys should be talking about how good this team played to win 7 games as I think they were a 6 seed. No, they were a 4th seed, 5th seed. Like just to beat Knicks. I don't care about injuries, bro. The Knicks team is better and deeper than the Indiana Pacers. Fact. So, and then now we got the West Coast where we had Denver Nuggets, defending champion, 3-time MVP, Jokic, 3 out of 4 years, face the up-and-coming, the number 2 seed, Minnesota Timberwolves. Now this is when you could talk because I know you have a few things to say about Anthony Edwards and how he's leading that team at the age of 22 years old.
Yeah, no, I've really been surprised with his confidence and how he's taken leadership of that team, knowing you got guys on there like Cat, who's been on that team for a while, who should be a leader, who should be in the position that AE is in. And you got Gobert, who's been through some playoff runs himself. You got Mike Conley, who's been through some deep playoff runs himself. But man, Anthony Edwards is a different breed, not just basketball wise, but personality wise, and how he's done with that team. Man, he just doesn't care. He really doesn't care what he did after. I forget which game it was. The reporter asked Cat a question, and he was like, "I got it," and he just took over and answered for it. That's leadership, bro. That's like, relax. don't try my dog Cat. Like I'm gonna answer. I got this. And just how he talks to the media, and he does things knowing that he's just being him. Again, 22-year-old kid, but he's out there hooping. Mike Conley stepped up huge. Jaden McDaniel stepped up huge. They were a great defensive team all year, and that team was built to beat the Nuggets. Like Jokic said it, and I think their GM now is the GM that kind of got the Nuggets team together. I may be mistaken, but I think, or some dude that I forget exactly who it was, but he used to be on the Nuggets. Now he's with Minnesota. So I mean, you got Cat and Gobert. Don't matter. That's 12 fouls. You can give Jokic, and you're giving him a hard time that whole time. And you got Naz Reid. Naz Reid, huge. Naz Reid was huge the whole series.
6 men of the year.
Yeah,
he got a new contract. He was a free agent that a lot of teams sought after because what he could do.
I wanted the Heat to get him so bad, bro. He's a fucking beast.
All the teams that wanted him he was gonna start on that team. And then he stays in Minnesota, and he's off the bench, and he's a force. He has everything you want from a bench player as a big. And the Nets, I wanted him on the Nets because he would have started as a power forward or whatever. Obviously, things don't work out. There's a lot of people that wanted him. But, yeah, Naz Reid, another guy. And then they have what's Buddy's name? Small forward they just gave a bunch of money to in the offseason. I'm going to find out because I want to –
Kyle Anderson.
No.
Slow-mo?
No. Jaden McDaniels.
Yeah.
Bro, 23 years old, 6'9". He averages 4 years in the league. He averages 10 points this year, but he's a lockdown defender, bro. That's somebody like when you talk about, yes, maybe they don't win this next series. Let's say they have a foundation where we all laughed about. Maybe Gobert isn't somebody you probably didn't want to give 4 or 5 first-round picks to, whatever. That's okay. But what they have right now, at least for this year and next year, they have a real chance of making a run. I've never seen a 22-year-old or a young player like Anthony Edwards not only lead the team on the court, but in press conferences, like you said. Like, hey, I got this. Let me take the heat. Let me say what I'm going to say and get the heat off of you. And it's not to like all eyes on me. Let's make it about me. It's more like I want the heat on me because he didn't game 7. I think he had like 16 points. He shot poorly. What did he do on the defensive end? Okay. That's not things that show up on the stat that people want to talk about. If he's not doing it offensively, he's doing it defensively. Their defense is insane. And the ball, like I just said with the Indiana Pacers, the ball will fall through the hoop eventually with players that have that capability. The defensive end is more important, as you've seen self as a Miami Heat fan. And I've watched Miami Heat because of my friends all over the last 3-4 years. Yeah, that's everything, bro. So I'm excited to see the Timberwolves, and they're not stopping, bro. This isn't the only year. They're not a flash in the pan.
We're really gonna see on both ends of the ball how good we. Hold on, let me chill, because Kyrie and Luka are established bucket getters, but
that's another part that we want to go into with the
Anthony Edwards and Jaden McDaniels have a real tall task ahead of them with those two guys.
Yeah, for sure.
So we're gonna see how good. We know Kyrie's a great bucket getter. We know Luka's a great bucket getter, but they're gonna be tested. They're gonna be tested this series, and it's gonna be fun to see which team ends up on top, because I think the finals is going through the West, man. I don't know what it is. I don't have enough faith in the Celtics to. Yeah, I'm a Celtics hater, but they're eventually going to Celtic. Like Tatum and Jaylen Brown, either of those teams that they play. And you were talking about play up and comers and risers. PJ Washington, bro, are you fucking kidding me? He was burying every single fucking corner three that he shot.
Yep.
Derrick Jones Jr. did the same thing. He had a huge shot over Chet Holmgren in that game in game 6 to take him up 5. And he played great defense, former Heat legend. So that's the series I wanted. That's the series I wanted to see, just because fuck Denver. And you also got to see how hard it is to repeat in this league and any league. So all those teams that have repeated and three-peated, that just goes to show more about those teams. So, I mean, you got to covet these championships and you got to really hold on to these runs, because that might be the only one you get. And them boys, man, Timberwolves are good, man. Mavericks are good. That's going to be a real fun series to see. And fuck everyone that was trying Kyrie. Fuck everyone that was saying he should retire. Saying that he was, yeah, but he showed out. Not on the score sheet because he didn't really have that great of a series. Yeah. But, I mean, when his team needed him, he was there, bro. And Luka had great things to say about him.
So the way I look at that Western Conference, and I'll keep it short, is the Mavs got two of the most prolific players other than Anthony Edwards and obviously Tatum. But they have, if they click, offensively, they can do damage. But what I just said, I'd be a hypocrite if I take the Mavs after just saying what I just said about defense and how defense needs to be a priority. The Mavs have a history this season of not being defensive. Obviously, they'll step it up, probably, most likely, in the playoffs. Don't doubt that. But they do have a young, inexperienced team when it comes to that, whether it's starting lineup or defensively. My take, Western Conference, it'll probably go 6 or 7. Timberwolves, I'm taking the Timberwolves because they have multiple guys, big, small, like that could defend. So I'm going to take the Timberwolves. And then I'm going to take on the Eastern Conference, I'm going to take the Celtics. Porzingis being in that lineup for the Celtics is going to be huge in the finals. I don't think they'll need him necessarily in the Eastern Conference finals. I think if they can rest him a little bit halfway through, it'll be best for them. So if you have a healthy Celtics and a healthy defensive team, that's going to make a quality NBA finals for the league, because not only do you get a up-and-coming franchise and individual like Anthony Edwards coming up, leading a team, but you also get the historical, the viewership. So you get a good hybrid. Like, I'm just speaking to the NBA, what they want, right? So you get a mix, because you always want, obviously, the NBA and every league wants two historical franchises all the time. They want Lakers, Celtics. You're not going to get that. But in this NBA Finals, I think if they get the Celtics and the Timberwolves, that'll be great for the league. And then I don't have a say on it right now because I got to see how it plays out, because I'm not going to predict what the finals will be until I see who comes out of it. But Timberwolves, Celtics, NBA Finals, you got defense, you got flashy, you got everything you want in an NBA Finals. So the real fans of hoops and basketball, they'll appreciate a Timberwolves Celtic matchup. Do you disagree?
I don't want to see. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing the Timberwolves in it, but I think Luka and Kyrie, seeing both those guys in the finals.
Yeah, I'm personally not going to root for Kyrie. You know this. I'm just not. That. I just can't see myself.
He is the first one of those three to get to conference finals, though, since everything happened.
Yeah, I don't hate Kyrie, because it was just like, it was a manic situation. It was chaotic, and I get it, and I'm trying to be open-minded. But for me to root for Kyrie, I would root more for Luka than I would for the Kyrie part of me, because I do like Luka ever since he entered the league, Real Madrid. Real Madrid's my soccer team, so I always kind of had a little, little fandom towards him even before I knew how good he was. But yeah, that matchup, we'll see how it goes out.
I think you get more eyes with Dallas Boston than Dallas Minnesota. I think so.
Yeah, but man, we got to and I agree with that. I can agree with that, but selfishly, I think I want Anthony Edwards to show out, man. He's a leader.
He's going to. He's going to show out one way or another. He's going to show out.
I want that personally. So we'll see how this. So we'll timestamp this. Obviously, we'll make a notation an hour and 15 in. We'll come back to this hopefully in a week or two and see how we played out. Basketball wise, Pat Bev got suspended 4 games for next season.
I'm not worried about Pat Bev.
He threw a ball at a fan. Jamal Murray fined $100K during that series for throwing a heat pad at a ref. That's over with. That was 2 weeks ago. I know we took some time off. Glenn Baby Davis, 3.5 years in the slammer. And we probably should have brought this up but he did fraud in the NBA insurance. That's a big ordeal. We won't spend too much time on that, where people are always cooking up ideas and hey, they're going to track you down. You think you live in lavish, and there's videos of him on a private jet eating KFC, showing it off. That's always a red flag. If you're going to do a criminal act, hey guys, I'm not saying take this advice from somebody that has done big time illegal activity, but from somebody that at least reads, watches, and listens to criminal activity daily and sees the connection, is if you're doing criminal activity, don't act as if you're doing criminal activity on social media. Just live a normal life. There's nothing wrong in buying a Toyota Camry once in a while.
Don't be flashy with it, bro.
There's there's nothing wrong in flying first class instead of coach, but not doing private jets. Just remain.
Or if you are, that's fine. Just don't post videos online about it.
Exactly. So from what I've learned for it, and I'll talk to you off.
Go ahead.
I'll talk to you off record because there's some breaking news I want to talk to you behind the scenes.
Oh, shit.
Is that I'll update you between me and you. Is if you're doing, I'm telling you, bro, in this social media world, when you know somebody personally, and then you look at their social media, and they're showing out all the time. They're making sure that everybody knows that they're making money. They're going to the best events, living lavish lifestyle. And then you learn that same person is doing illegal things and going to prison. So we're talking about like Big Baby Davis. We're talking about Diddy. I'm talking, I know somebody personally that is going through something like this. And then you know them personally, like literally know them, have their number, could text them, could call them. And then you see it and you go, oh, you're going to jail for a pretty long time. Going to jail. Like, you're not going to see your kid. I'll talk to you off record. I'm not going to say it on here.
All right.
Talk off record. But when you see this, it makes you think the people that are showing up, showing out the most don't have it. They don't have it. People that are posting in front of their new Mercedes-Benz, and I have a new Mercedes-Benz. I'm not posting. I'm not I posted one little story about it. That's cool. That'll probably be the only post, unless I wanted to give credit to my broker. So like it would be more about him and his business and his service than me. Because it's like he delivered. Like I got my new car. And it was all him, and he delivered, right? It would be more about that, but also I could gloat a little bit. I'm not going to say I don't. But when you are just unsolicitedly, like, just showing up, showing out, this is what I got. hate to tell y'all, but most of the time they don't got it. And if they do, they're doing it wrongfully, from what I've learned. But anyway, what were you about the show?
Anthony Edwards talking some shit.
Go ahead. Yeah, Jokic didn't like that. Oh, he went to bounce it. Yeah, that was wrong.
Yeah.
McDaniels, that was wrong. And it was fine that he waved, but to bounce it and try to dunk it, that was kind of wrong. He goes, why? Had to point to the scoreboard. That reminded me of that movie with Adam Sandler. Yeah, he deserves it. There's some times where you might look at it and be like, I don't showboat, but like you went into Denver, the defending champions, and
beat them.
Performed. Yeah, that's you. There's times where I'm always like, be humble, don't say much, but like there's also times where you're 22 years old, bro. You might never ever do that ever again. So you should live in the moment and do whatever. He wasn't too disrespectful. Wave at the craft fire. Let's quickly and this episode, I like that it's going a little long because we have a lot to catch up on and everything else, and it's fine. Let's move on to NFL. NFL schedule release came out. There's games on Christmas for the NFL, like the last couple of years,
everywhere
on Netflix. They're doing a lot of Amazon, obviously with Thursday Night Football. They're doing Peacock games. The Giants have a game in Germany versus Panthers, which I don't think America will be viewing into that game too much. Giants are on the new off season of Hard Knocks, so it's not in season. So they used to do only in season Hard Knocks, and then they went to like secondary season or whatever. Like I think Arizona Cardinals did the first like second season. So they used to do like preseason, beginning, and then during the season. Cardinals did that a couple of years ago. Colts did that too. So the Giants are the first off season. So meaning whatever trades they had, signings, Saquon Barkley. I'm just updating you. Have to comment on it. What's your comment about NFL off season? Schedule wise, what do you see the Dolphins playing? And, obviously we got big games coming up. Obviously, Thursday Night Football to kick off, it's Kansas City Ravens. Friday, it's Green Bay Packers. Oh, no, Green Bay Packers and Philly in Brazil. And then you got the start of the season. But, man, the NFL is putting up matchups early in the season, and they know how to do it, man.
No, they definitely really do. They do one of the best jobs for that. All I know is Thanksgiving night, I'm in Lambeau. Dolphins, Packers, in that cold weather, I gotta be there, man. That's once in a lifetime, bro, honestly. And then also I know Trav wants to go up to Indy for week 7 against the Colts. That's a huge possibility too. So the Dolphins got a pretty tough schedule. I'm not gonna lie. But
I gotta hit up Vito, see if he renewed his
Oh, I know. I'm pretty sure he did. I don't see why he wouldn't. But
let me hit him up.
Dolphins in Lambeau, man, on Thanksgiving night. That's a must. I'm trying to set that up like right now. That might even be like a day or two near my birthday. I'm about to find out exactly right now. Oh yeah, that's the day after my birthday.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's the day after my birthday, man. I'm there.
I'm hitting up Vito. I just hit up Vito now just to see if he renewed because I seen the Dolphins schedule. I was like, oh, there's a couple games I want to go to, and I know he's got 8 tickets to not give away, but kind of bring people to. And one of the games, Cleveland Browns play the Giants in Cleveland, and Bree's stepdad now, my father-in-law, he has season tickets, so I could go to that game for free and vibe out with him. But like, it's my birthday weekend. Do I want to spend my birthday weekend in Cleveland
to go see the Giants? Yeah, why the fuck not?
Yes and no.
It's my birthday and I'm going to Green Bay.
Yeah, I know, but like, Do I want to? Yes and no. So we'll see. We'll see. There's, like I said, I could agree to that like the week of, so that's not a problem. So it's not really a big deal for me. The tickets will always be available, but I just hit up Vito to see if he has his season tickets renewed. Pull up the Giants' new, because this is not controversial, but been talked about. Pull up the new Giant unis. I want to see your take on them real quick. Because, now that it came out after I went to the Football Hall of Fame, so I had a different take on it after seeing the Football Hall of Fame and the tradition. What's your take on them? Just, you talk loosely.
I mean, the jerseys themselves, like the shirts, aren't terrible. I think it's the pants that kind of
It's the
pissed me
pants
off
for
a
you?
little bit. I think so. If they would have been like white pants,
Okay. It
fire.
does change the vibe if they, so do
if
you
they're
know
white
why
pants,
the pants
blue
are the way?
pants,
Do you know
still
why
fire.
the color of the pants are why?
No, I have no idea.
All right. So to break it down, which is the old school. So I can relate to, first of all, the Giants are owned by the
Says it right here.
The tan pants paired with the red and blue striped socks are a throwback to the original ones worn during the inaugural season in 1925, when founded by Tim Mara, famously purchased the team for $500. And that's important because right now the Mara family still owns the grandson. So I get it. So that's been the big deal with Giant fans for the longest, is we want to be traditional, kind of like the Yankees, but yet you have to understand when to break apart and be different and also still be traditional. So I get that they're trying to like share homage or show love to the last 100 years, but there's also a cool factor in this. And the Giant fans, and I talked to my boy AP, who's loyal Giant fan, and we talk all the time, is the only issue that we have for it is that for the last 20 years, we haven't changed our jerseys to make them not cool, but like keep that tradition, but also try to make it like a little refresher. Like it's okay to go a little different. And unfortunately, we're owned by the grandchildren of people that want to keep everything the same. And it's like, sometimes you got to change it up a little bit. I'm not saying you got to create jerseys that are like totally not like what you would want in a franchise, but like modernize it already. Our best years over the last 60 years has been in the 80s. And I get they did a little throwback to the 80s recently in the last couple of years to give homage, but like, why not spice up the home and away permanence? The Giant fans have issues with this because we're doing a throwback jersey that I could agree with you aren't the best looking. And the Green Bay Packers have done this. The Steelers have done this, like an homage to the past. But like when you also don't update your jersey to make it at least like you're in New York, bro. Do you know that you could change your jerseys like this tomorrow and make more money? Why don't you do it? And I'm like I said, you're not trying to update a jersey just to update it. Make it a little bit more spicy. Like literally every fan I know, for the most part, is asking for a refresher, and they're not doing it. And then you come out with these. It's like, come on, guys, like make it something. So the gold pants is an homage to the back in the day. By the way, since I've been to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, the New York Giants, before they were the New York Giants, do you know what stadium they played at back in the day when they started? Little trivia.
I have no clue.
Okay, so the New York Giants played at the Yankee Stadium, the Polo Grounds.
Okay.
So that's why a lot of Yankee fans are Giant fans. The Jets played, so the Polo Grounds was like a spectacle in New York. They were located near the Bronx area. So the Polo Grounds, the Yankees played. They were established similar 1920 something. the Giants and the Yankees shared a stadium. The Jets and the Mets, I don't think they shared a stadium, but it was like linked together. The Giants, the year before they became the Giants, were called the New York Yankees. That's a little fact, a little nugget for you. So they have a history there of becoming like they were called the New York Yankees as a football team, and then they became the New York Giants, and then whatever. They became their own franchise, a little more brand identity. Back in the day, think about it, 100 years ago, take off the screen so I can see you. Before, back in the day, they didn't think about marketing. They didn't think about too far into all these things that we think about, like how cool will a logo look, how cool will the color. It was like, all right, the baseball team's called the Yankees. We'll call we'll call the football team the New York Yankees. Just like in baseball, if you don't know this, a little trivia too, and we'll end it on this. My cat's sneezing. There was 2 New York Giant teams in New York. The New York Giants of baseball, and that's why the New York football Giants are called the New York Football Giants, to differentiate the difference, right? So back in the day, they weren't that clever. They just simpletons. We'll call this New York Giants, Yankees, this and all that. So I get why they're trying to like show the past and all that, but you're right. The gold pants doesn't resonate to somebody like you who's not a Giants fan. They don't understand it. They don't care. But also, it's like, damn, you could have just put the pants white and probably made it a little cooler, because the top of the uniform is very different. So I've been meaning to say this for a week on this podcast about the Giants and their uniforms and their thought process as a franchise is chaotic. That's all I got to say. Get it together, you New York Giants. Like, stop being old-minded. Let's fucking win. We haven't won in 15, 16 years, which is a lot more than you've ever won.
Oh, brother.
20. You haven't won a playoff game in 20-some years. Just saying.
Okay.
Just saying.
Thanks,
what
bro.
else we got? Sorry. Yeah. So, Panthers, Rangers, New York Rangers. Shout out Evan, that's been watching the pod. They play on Wednesday. Panthers survived Game 6 on Friday versus the Boston Bruins. Huge. Back-to-back Eastern Conference Finals. Huge for the franchise. The tickets are way too much. I thought I was going to go to a game every series, but it turns out I'm probably not going to this series because every ticket is just to get in the door is $300. So not going probably to.
Damn.
Yeah. Last series, it was to get in the door initially was $150. Then it dropped to $80. Me and Bree went to game 2. Right now, starting price is $350. And I'm probably not going to a game. I'll watch it at home, watch it at people's house. NHL playing. We'll see you, Evan. Yeah, we'll see you. Let's see. Rangers in 6. That's what he says. We'll see, Evan. We shall see, brother. And then the last thing, what's going on in the lab? I am watching Fallout on Amazon Prime. Did you play the game or know anything about that?
No, but I didn't really play the game, but I've seen people play it. I know of the game. I've seen a lot of ads and stuff for the show. I just haven't tuned into it just because
Yeah, it's big on IMDb. I'm like big on. It's like not Rotten Tomatoes, so it's I feel like it's a little bit more credible, if you want to say. It's 8.5 out of 10. Me and Bree just started it. We're 6 episodes in out of 8. We love it. Definitely watch it with your girl. It's you don't have to know about the game to watch it. It's just a regular series. Definitely, it's on Amazon Prime, so definitely watch it. It's interesting. It's gonna probably have many seasons to come because I could see how they could keep it going. So you should watch it. It's good.
I might tune in.
All right, cool. Episode 124. Appreciate everybody for locking in with us. We've been on a hiatus, like we said.
I got
for
one
2
last
weeks.
thing.
No, I know. I'm wrapping it up. But tune in. We'll have more guests. Me and Fort. I'm telling you now on record. We need to, anybody hit us up, let us know. But also we need to do a better job on hitting people up to come on the podcast, have some fun with us, lock in, change it up, get a little different vibes. But go ahead. End the pod.
So I got a gripe.
Uh-oh.
Have you seen Instagram ads for the company Shop GLD with chains and watches?
I think I have.
Yeah, I'm sure you have, and pendants and everything like that.
Yeah.
So I've ordered from them a few times. Everything's been good. It's gold plated. Chains are nice. Pendants are nice. My brother's ordered from them. Mike's ordered from them.
Okay.
Got Berto's ordered from them. So, everything's always been good. And the main reason I bought from them was because they claim they have lifetime warranty on their products.
Uh-oh.
Cool. No problem. So I wore their chains for a little bit, and I bought this one off Amazon, $20. So I stopped wearing the other ones I have because I've been in a silver, type mood. Not too much gold lately. Yellow gold or yellow goldish jewelry, just regular gold stuff. And since I started working at K, I've been paying attention more to things, other people's jewelry, what they got on, stuff like that, stuff that I didn't really pay attention to before. So I grabbed my chains, and I already knew that one of them was messed up, and I knew that the Jesus piece pendant I had a little stone missing. One of the little fake diamonds was off of it, but I just didn't go about it. I was like, all right, whatever. I'm probably gonna want to wear these again sometime in the future. Let me get them fixed because I know they got the lifetime warranty. So I start the process and have to pay $10 and some change to generate a label, a FedEx label, to get my product shipped to the warehouse so they can get it and send me new stuff. Cool, no problem. So then I find out that it's not a lifetime warranty. It's a one-time replacement. So I'm like, all right, that kind of pissed me off.
Okay.
And then the second thing, I'm like, all right, cool, whatever, one-time replacement. I work at a jewelry store now. I could get other things and actually get real jewelry for good stuff, for a good price. No problem. The thing that pissed me off the most was I had to pay to get my shit back.
Like shipping?
I got to pay $21.39 for one of my chains to come back with the Jesus piece. And then because I sent 2 chains and my pendant. The other chain was on another order. So I had to pay another $21.39 to get that one back too. So I got to pay over $40 to get my shit back that I've already paid for. That's not, I get it. I understand it. Businesses got to make money to keep producing and keep doing, what they do. But don't advertise, lifetime warranty on something if it's not a lifetime warranty. The customer service isn't that great. I was talking to a virtual AI bot.
You're never talking to a human.
You're never going to talk to a human anymore.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's kind of shitty, the stuff isn't like cheap. It's for, I guess now all this gold plated stuff and these diamonds that are like moissanite or whatever you fucking say. Like you can get 3 chains for $100. They got so many different, that industry is so saturated now. So I understand it, but at the same time, it's like, damn, I gotta fucking pay to get my own shit back because it didn't hold up to the standards. So Shop GLD, man, just do better.
Be aware.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe you could have boxed it all into one order and then it would have been $21.39, even if it was ordered at a different time. Like, again, I get it, but I won't be ordering from them anymore. And I will not. I used to refer or not refer, but recommend and let people know, like, oh, this is fake. This is from Shop GLD, but it's good. I will not be advertising your stuff anymore.
We will not. You will not be a sponsor of the pod.
Once I get my chains back, yeah, I'm gonna wear them because they're nice and I paid for them and they fit good together. But I won't. You won't have my business anymore. I'm not here for it. That kind of got me a little upset. That's all I really got to say. It's not a shout out. It's the opposite of a shout out. Whatever the word for
shout
that.
Down.
Yeah, shout down. So I got nothing else, man.
All right,
I
brother.
gotta take a shower.
Yep, I gotta take a shit.
That then fucked me up, bro.
Appreciate y'all. Episode 124. We'll be back.
Go Cats. Go Panthers.
Go Panthers on Wednesday. Let's go. Eastern Conference and Western Conference finals will be starting also with hockey, NHL. So we'll have some things to talk about
Dallas
next week.
is loaded. Dallas is loaded these next few weeks. Mavericks and Stars.
Yes, sir. Cowboys could suck a.
Yeah, fuck
because they'll never be right. But we'll have some good content. We'll have some guests on next episode for 125. Elvis Escobar, Fort Sama, enter the lab, exit the lab. Peace, y'all.